Well, good morning, everybody. Apparently, I'm worse at tech than I thought I was. I was hoping to do YouTube Live this morning, and it was just timed out on me. So I have to figure out what's going on. And so the good news is I'm going to be using my smartphone, which is actually a better sound and a better video on it. So any case, that's the scoop. I tried really hard. I actually put a lot of time into it, but in the end, I needed somebody that basically knew what the hell they were doing. So, so in any case, I mentioned since I couldn't go live that I wanted to create a video, put it online for people to meditate to. So that is what I'm going to do. And what I'd like to do it on is worry, because I think that there's a tremendous amount of worry. Some people are really fine with everything going on these days, and there's a lot of people that are very concerned and worried. And so I want to take a brief look at what worry is, and then we can do maybe a 20 minutes or so meditation around that to just kind of, you can't really let go of worry because there's really nothing to let go of per se, because worry is conjured up in our minds, and it is the fear of what the future will bring. It's the fear of the unknown. So the more that we can just really have trust and faith that everything is unfolding the way that it needs to, a lot of that worry will drop away. But we have to get comfortable with the unknown, with the mystery of life. And this isn't a bad thing. This is actually a really good thing. The more we do get comfortable and just, again, have a trust and faith that everything's unfolding the way it needs to, there is a tremendous amount of peace that will show up from that. What the mind wants to do is, the mind wants to say, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? And consequently, it ends up creating a lot of stress in our lives. So what do we do about it? For one thing, be mindful of it. And that's where the meditation comes in. Being mindful, being aware of those thoughts that say, I could die, or a friend could die, or what if one of us gets sick, or, worries about the money. Whatever you have going on, it really doesn't matter. With the whole coronavirus going on right now, obviously it's presented a lot of, I guess the word is opportunities for us to be reflective on what's going on within ourselves, within our minds, and being mindful. Thoughts in and of themselves are not bad. There's nothing wrong with a thought unless we believe that thought to be true, or we're pulled into this drama of what the thought wants to convince us might happen. None of us know what is going to happen, and we can't correct that kind of thinking from a perspective. There's nothing to heal with the thoughts. What there is something to heal with is a letting go of needing to know the answers. So let's do a meditation around that, and we'll see where this goes. And it'll probably be around 20 minutes or so, and then after that, after you finish, you're welcome to respond to this video and let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I'm happy to support anyone out there. Also ask that you just consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if this ends up resonating with you. Okay? All right, let's meditate. So just allowing yourself to get comfortable. Actually, let me turn my heater off, because it makes a little bit of noise, and I don't want that. So just allow yourself to get comfortable in a chair, in a couch, in a bed, whatever you want to do. Preferably not to fall asleep, so that we can practice mindfulness. But if you do, that's okay too. I mean, we've all done that. Those who meditate regularly, sometimes we're just tired, and that's what we need in the moment. But hopefully you will stay awake so that we can really just be mindful of our thoughts. So first and foremost, I'm just going to ask you just to really just allow yourself to be fully supported by the chair, the couch, but also by the floor. Just feeling your feet pressed into the floor, and preferably not having your arms or legs cross in any way. So you're open. You're an open vessel to receive. And also, whatever your spiritual inclinations are, some people, you want to turn to God or Jesus or Buddha or to nature or to love. Any of those is fine, but I ask that you just surrender into that. Surrender into that higher, that thing that's bigger than you. Whether, again, you call it God, Jesus, or whatever. Just really surrendering into that and allowing yourself to surrender into this moment, surrender into life. And what does that mean when we surrender into it? It means that we're not resisting. We're not resisting life. We're not resisting anything that's coming up. We're just going to notice those things. I invite you to not try to direct this meditation in any certain fashion or form. Just let it unfold the way it needs to unfold. You don't need to try to make this meditation good, and let go of any agendas of making this meditation good, because any of these things, the trying, the effort, the doingness, are all things that move you more into your head. And we want to move beyond the head, beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts, so that we can connect with the true essence of who we are, that is beyond the body and beyond the mind. And so I also invite you to just let go of all of the past. The past is done. You don't need to dwell on it. You don't need to be caught on it. And the mind might say, yeah, but I did this or I did that and I could have done better. I shouldn't have hurt this person, or whatever thoughts the mind has to say. Just notice them. Don't try to make them bad or wrong. And you don't need to try to get rid of them. You're just going to, as soon as you notice the thought or thoughts, just simply be aware of them and let them pass on through. You don't need to follow them out or figure them out or analyze them in any way. As soon as you notice them, just simply come back to the present moment. And for many, a nice, easy way to come back to the present moment is to come back to being aware of your breath. The beautiful thing about the breath is that there's nothing to do. The breath happens all by itself. So it takes us out of the need to do something. We want to just let go of all doing, all trying, all effort, and all we're doing is just simply being aware. We're just simply observing, that's all. Nothing else is needed. And then I also invite you to just, I'm going to say, let go of all the worry. But maybe what's perhaps more helpful is to say, let's move beyond the worry, which means to say, just to trust, to have trust and faith in, whether you want to call it God or call it life, but to have trust and faith that everything is unfolding the way it needs to unfold. And for me, this is no longer a belief. There's an experiential thing, and when it happens enough time, you move into trusting more and more that everything that's being presented to us is exactly as it needs to be and is always designed to help us to awaken to the truth of who we are. That's why for me, the more I know that I surrender my life completely over to love or to God, then it just gets my mind out of the way more, to just help me to allow in every single experience without a fight. Because the only reason we have stress in our lives is because we're wanting life to be different than what it is. So if that's the case, can you just, rather than wanting it to be different, just allow it to be perfect the way it is, just to be present with it, not to try to get rid of anything. And you may have physical discomfort or pain or emotional discomfort or pain. But what if, rather than trying to get rid of it, or what if instead of making it bad or wrong, that you just simply allowed it to be, you just simply noticed it without blame or without judgment. You just simply are aware of it. And the more you can surrender into that, you will find there is this beautiful peace and freedom. So also tied in with this is letting go of your need to know the answers. And that means just allowing the unknown to be okay. The more we find that we need to have the answers, or we need to figure out what the problem is, that's what the mind will tell us, that we need to figure out what's going on. We need to come up with a solution. What if the mind is the block to the solution, and it's moving beyond the mind into that divine intelligence, that true essence of who you are, where all creativity lies? The more I let go of my need to know the answers, the more I disengage the mind and the busyness of the mind. And then stillness, peace, silence begins to naturally happen. But in part, one of the reasons the mind gets so busy is it's because it's always trying to figure out solutions to life. But it's actually the very thing that's causing the problems of life, because the mind will say, this is right, this is wrong, and it's full of judgment and blame of yourself and others. And the more we become aware of, the more we become mindful of these thoughts, then we realize it's that voice within us is not on our side. It's the very thing that's causing all of the stress in our lives, everything. Because it has a plethora of opinions, of judgments, of how things are supposed to be. I'm inviting you to let go of that so that you can allow a creativity that is connected and aligned with the universe, that is connected and aligned with everything. And the more we can get our egos and our personalities out of the way, the more we can experience this. So tied in with that, I invite you to let go of all the self-images of who you think you are. And I assure you that when you have an experience where you see that you are not your thoughts, you are not your mind, nor are you your body, that you are formless and you are spacious, you are space, the more you can connect with that and let go of all these old self-images and self-beliefs of who you think you are, you will find this beingness, this sweet, pure beingness that lies within you that is peace, that is joy, that is love, that is freedom, salvation, whatever you want to call it. I also invite you to let go of any effort whatsoever. You don't need to try to enhance this meditation or doing energy healing work or using your imagination even. It's really disengaging the mind so that we can connect with the stillness that is beyond the physical mind. What we are doing is we are emptying out. We are emptying out all the beliefs, all the judgments, the ego and the personality, all these different beliefs that block us from experiencing the truth of who we are right now in this very moment. And the truth of who you are, the truth of who I am, has always been there and will never ever leave us because it is us. There's a verse in the Bible that says the kingdom of God is at hand. And all the great religions reflect on this in some way, but it's telling us that what we need to be happy, who we are is right here, right now, in this very moment. We don't have to travel to India or to a mountaintop. We don't need to go anywhere, nor do we need to do anything. So let go of all these thoughts of we need to do something or go somewhere, or that something else needs to happen in order for us to be happy. I invite you to stop waiting for something else to happen and just be present with this moment that has everything you need to be at peace right now. So we're going to begin to flow into a direction of silence as we kind of begin to transition out of the guided part of the meditation. During this, thoughts will present themselves. It is not an issue. No matter how many thoughts come, it doesn't matter how many thoughts come. It doesn't matter how busy your mind is. Don't try to get rid of the thoughts or push them away or try to correct your thinking or try to make them bad or wrong in any way. It's just the mind being busy. It's just a thought. And the only way it has power over you and can create suffering in your life is if you give it power, that you follow it, that you believe it in some way. I'm inviting you right now to just notice that it's just a thought. It is not who you are. And so as soon as you have that thought, you, the one that is observing the thoughts, that's observing the breath, that's observing the sounds, you are the observer of it all. So as soon as you, the observer, the one in awareness of it all, becomes aware of the thought, just simply notice it, and as soon as you do, simply come back to being aware of your breath. And if your mind has drifted, just notice that and come back to being aware of the breath. And once again, just coming back to the breath, just coming back to being aware of the breath. And we'll take a few more minutes before we finish up, or you can always continue on, of course, however long you want to. And just begin to be coming back into this space and time, taking a nice deep breath in Just letting go completely, coming fully back into your bodies. And you may want to just move your body a little bit, stretch, whatever kind of moves you fully back into your body so that you can be grounded in that. And then whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. Well, I hope the meditation was helpful, and I plan on posting more of these. Hopefully I'll be able to go YouTube Live next go around. I'll have to get some technical expertise to see what's going on with that. I wish you all a beautiful day. Namaste.